Hello there, welcome to the first sofa session of the MOOC Design Practice and Business. So at the end of last week, we asked you to tell us your stories about the value of design for business. And you did, using lots of visuals as we asked you to. We had something in the region of 120 submissions, and we had a lot of fun looking at all of them and seeing all the wonderful things that you came up with. Now, there are some general points that we thought were applicable to a lot of the submissions, so let me just go over them for a quick second before moving on to the more detailed stuff. We noticed that a lot of the assignments were very much about customer centricity. So how can design make organizations become more responsive to customer needs, become more attuned to the things that customers needs and wants? And that's a really cool thing. But we also noticed that there was a lot of stuff about how design makes companies more creative, how design makes companies generate really new, innovative, cool ideas. And speaking of creativity, we also saw that you were very creative in how you framed and presented your stories, which was excellent to see. In the discussion board, there was also a really interesting discussion going on about execution, because in the first session, Dirk and Julia told about some design capabilities that help businesses become successful. What they didn't talk about a lot was execution. So, where does the execution, where does the implementation come into all of that? That didn't really come up a lot in the lecture, but you guys picked up on it. So now that I've talked about the more general stuff, let me just go over some detailed examples to really illustrate what I was talking about. The first submission that I have is from MVLX. Yes, that's the name. And we really like this one because it really illustrated the topics that we covered in the actual content. So there is a very strong focus on the user, and there's also a very strong emphasis on value as well. Because, whenever you are talking about how design adds to a business, you need to consider not just business value, but also economic value. So in your upcoming assignments, please always bear in mind the nature of the value and the amount of value that stakeholders will derive from implementing design. The second assignment that struck us as being really interesting was this one by Kiran Sajwani, and we really loved this one because it was really cute, and also because we really loved how it depicted design thinking as prioritizing people to solve problems and delight users. The visual is excellent, and there's a really, really good understanding of the role played in relation to the user, which is absolutely fantastic. But it's really important that we also think about other stakeholders as well and broaden our focus. And actually, the submission by Sanders Smith does a really good job of that, because it does reference other stakeholders, such as the back office, and it also uses some really cool metaphors like the chameleon, as a way of expressing how design makes organizations more adaptable. So the last one I'm going to show you is this one by Matt SD, and we really love this one because it's not just about a good design, but it's a really good design in and of itself. And we really loved it because it's focused on the outcomes, because outcomes are always important when we are talking about business, and emotional response is a very important outcome when we're talking about the design of products, services, or even interactions. So that was it for the assignments and for the first sofa session. Keep it up, and we'll see you next time.